Let me play this clip for you guys. Okay.
In there sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Figuring out.
Direct quote, though, on his, you'll see it. Our teams are now embedded in governments around the world. That's actually what they wrote.
Yes.
And the video is 2 minutes. I didn't play all of it. It's what he says.
But what he's saying there sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
Figuring out on strategic ways to end the
course it
lockdown easily.
no,
Would that
not
make
the,
sense?
Not the end of lockdown. No.
Well, didn't he say that?
Yeah. Keep in mind, Tony Blair is the one who's been advocating for vaccine passports, digital identification through COVID, and all of these measures.
But didn't they say that about ending the lockdowns and keeping businesses?
Once those measures are in place. Right, so he's even in the UK. His stance has been, yeah, we're going to get out of all it, but you have to have digital ID, and you have to have. So during
and
the war,
this is going to introduce the social credit score system,
right? So, what all of that came from your question, which is, regardless of intention, how do people do that infiltration from within? It's not just Twitter. So back to the psychological operations. It's also embedding people in government who are subscribed to this agenda. Yeah, and the agenda of Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum is the same as the agenda of Tony Blair in this regard. They call it on their own website, they call it the Great Reset. That's what they say themselves.
Yeah, that's a bizarre thing to do, openly. Why do you think they openly discuss it that way? And openly, because the Great Reset has always been this gigantic conspiracy theory among the online folks. Like, this is all part of the Great Reset. Well, when he wrote a fucking book called The Great Reset, you're like, hey, man, shouldn't you be hiding this?
And in 2017 at Harvard, he's saying, we're going to basically, all of these world leaders will penetrate their cabinets with our young global leaders. He's open about this. He's open. Blair's open. During the Iraq War, Blair tried to bring in ID cards in Britain. He failed. Now he's back, and he's trying to bring in digital ID during COVID, right? So they're open about it.
So this is going to be this never-ending process to slowly move the goalposts
towards more and more authoritarianism. Checkpoint society. It's all there. They told us this.
People have to realize this, right? This is important.
Yeah.
Okay, so you heard it. And so what's going on there? All right, so let's backtrack on what we just listened to. That was Joe Rogan, and he had some very informed person on his show. I do not know that man's name, but it was on. You could read it. But anyway, they're talking about the plans, the WEF. WEF is World Economic Forum. These things are, we don't even have to say they're real. Go look it up. WEF, World Economic Forum, just like we have the WHO is the World Health Organization, and the UN, United Nations, so WEF, World Economic Forum. The person who is the head of the World Economic Forum is Klaus Schwab. Okay. And so, Klaus Schwab, what they're talking about is, well, they're also talking about a Tony Blair, who I actually do not know that name. That is scary. Sorry, guys. Like, because I'm already talking about some crazy stuff, and then my phone just goes off out of nowhere. Okay, so anyway, and it's not crazy stuff. So they're talking about like certain parameters that these people are trying to put in place, these leaders, and you might as well call them world leaders. Let's just call them what they are. Let's call them what they are, world leaders. Okay, they're trying to put certain things in place to surveil us. Digital ID. Okay, I've made videos about that. If you guys want to put the link in the description, so you can see how we're going to modernize healthcare data. When you hear modernize means in real time, we're going to be watching you. Okay. So what Joe Rogan does in the beginning, he's like, oh, well, yeah, but they're just talking about doing some stuff to just end the lockdowns. Right. But that's the thing. See, and the guy's like, no, like, nah, bruh. It's not just about just end lockdowns. This is a whole new way of living. So end lockdowns. First of all, lockdowns should have never happened anyway. So what happens is, a tyrant always needs a pretext for his tyranny, something like that, right? So that was Aesop's fable. It's so true. You can't just come to somebody's house and be like, stay in the house. No, they're gonna be like, what the hell are you talking about? I'm going out. But tell them there's sickness out there. The same sickness that's been out there, maybe a little beefed up, I don't know. But anyway, there's sickness out there, and it's gonna get you. It's gonna get you. And so then it makes people say, oh, shoot, well, what do I do? You bring me a problem, and now you're bringing me a solution. So people think for safety, we need to do X, Y, Z. But little by little, they take more and more away from you. They take more and more away from you, and they watch you more and more. All right. Digital ID. These are the things they're talking about, like where everything, and it sounds too, it sounds so convenient. Why wouldn't you want the digital ID, right? So all my stuff in one code, that's easy, right? My bank account, my driver's license picture, my social security number, my health history, everything's being modernized. Everything, all the data is being modernized and modern infrastructure. My voting history, it's just everything. Like, well, yeah, it could all just go in one place. I mean, aren't we tired of having 1,000 passwords every time you change your password, and then you change your password, and it's like, oh, you can't lose the last password, and you're like, oh my God, I didn't. So we make it easy. We're just going to put it all in the same place. So you only need one password. But we have that password too. So if you cross us, we can shut you down very easily. Okay. Because that's a joke in 2022 anyway, to already shut down somebody's bank account if they're doing the wrong thing. Okay. That's another video that I'm actually getting ready to tape for y'all. Okay. So Joe Rogan is completely like, so now he's like, well, he's like, so they're talking about the book, The Great Reset. And then Joe Rogan's like, but that was like a conspiracy theory. I don't know why anybody ever thought that was a conspiracy theory. I heard about the Great Reset back in 2020. I saw the World Economic Forum make a 10-minute advertisement about how we'll own nothing and we'll be happy and all this stuff. And when it was broken down to me, I was like, this is despotic. This is some sort of fake euphoria of people just milling around like zombies and not going to be able to do anything with their life. And the more and more things are happening, the more and more you see they're trying to really go in that direction. Now, the part where, so he's like, why wouldn't they hide it? Like, why they just, because these people are emboldened now. We showed them, okay, that we want safety no matter what. And this is obviously, if you're watching this, you probably don't think like that. You're probably like, nah, but that's not how I feel. But the fact is, we were involved in a big social experiment for 2 years. Yes, people died, but I've showed you, seen the videos. If you haven't, go back and look at my catalog. I'm gonna have to link a few videos of this one where numbers were fudged, everything. 2 weeks is slow to spread. Stay home. 2 weeks turns into 3 months, 6 months. Okay, now you got to take a jab to go to get the burger. Okay, all this stuff. And a few people yelled, but not that many, right? And if people did yell, the mainstream media didn't really show you that because they don't want you to think that there's too much pushback on this stuff. So of course, it's like they're emboldened. Like, yeah, well, we want, look at all this what happened. Look at all this with the climate. We have climate issues. We need to be living differently. We need to live differently so we could save the world and we cannot be sick. That is a sick lie. That doesn't happen. People get sick, right? So, but they're emboldened. So they're going to say it. And so, the digital ID, we already discussed that. And the World Economic Forum, how Klaus Schwab is like, yeah, we got people placed in certain areas. That's my next video. So if you want to hear more about that, you'll go and you'll click on my next video. But because that I have footage of him saying it. These people, they don't have no issues because they know that they've messed up our mental so much. They gave us so much PTSD. We're like, you know what? Yeah, just go ahead and take care of it, Klaus. Because I don't know. You're right. Okay. I do not need Klaus Schwab knowing if I took a flu shot or not. I don't need Klaus Schwab knowing how I voted or how much money is in my bank account or anything like that. I don't know him. All right. And you don't know him either. Okay. Okay. So that video, after Rogan gets all this information, like, he's left speechless. He's just like, I mean, yeah. Like, when I first heard it, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. I first heard about this back in November the 2nd, 2020. And this was when the next morning we were going to have elections, when I watched the video, and then when I saw Kamala Harris make a video kind of similar to it, but very small, like shorter, I said, Donald Trump is not going to win tomorrow by any means necessary. I called my brother and was like, yo, dude not going to win. He's not going to win. I said, there is a globalist movement that is coming, and we're 4 years behind because, hate him or not, he pulled us out of a lot of those Paris Accords. He had pulled us out of a lot of, he pulled us out of the World Health Organization. He pulled us out of all that. Like, I think he pulled us out of NATO, if I'm not mistaken, where he was trying to. He was really trying to just pull us back to be just all about America. That's not globalist. They don't want no American nationalists, involved. Now, I'm not talking about, the election. I'm not going in. All I know is I assessed it for what it was. I was like, yo, he's not going to win tomorrow. He's not. We need globalist leaders now. That's what they want. In a year, can't you tell? If you can't tell yet, you'll see. There's a lot of changes happening. All right, y'all. So thanks for going there with me for a little bit. I hope I didn't take y'all too far deep into the other dimension. But it's like you just, man, please. You see what the boy said, like, why they not hiding it? They're not hiding this stuff no more, man. This stuff is out here, man. The word conspiracy theory really means nothing to me anymore because you can go back and find where the actual person said the thing and you're like, oh, well, there you go. There you go. Right? So let me leave with actually I like to leave with hope because at the end of the day, God is in control. I do believe God empowers us a way where some people will be waking up by these things and anything can happen. Anything can happen. Or God shows us what's going on and then we prepare how we're going to deal with it and continue to live our lives and, shuck and jive around it. Okay? I really do believe in that. That's why I laugh about a lot of this stuff. It's not that I don't take it serious. It's just, this is a big one that I know, like, I do rely on God to help me assess it and show me what I need to do next. All right? Okay. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.